Some mysteries aren't forgotten with time. Instead, they grow darker, more unsettling, because every clue leads to another question, and none to an answer. Tonight, we explore 5 real cases that remain completely unsolved and disturbingly unexplained. The strange death of Henry McCabe. September 2015, Mounds View, Minnesota. Henry McCabe, a 32-year-old auditor, spent the night out with friends. After being dropped off at a gas station around 2 a.m., he vanished. And what happened next is still one of the most unsettling mysteries recorded. At 2:28 a.m., Henry's wife received a voicemail. Not a message, a sound. A mixture of screams, choking noises, agony, and something that almost resembled growling. Experts who analyzed the audio said it didn't match any known animal or human scenario clearly, and it sounded like Henry was not alone. 2 months later, Henry's body was found floating in Rush Lake, more than 6 miles away from where he was supposedly dropped off. There were no signs of trauma, no broken bones, no defensive wounds. Nothing that matched the terror in the voicemail. Authorities ruled it probable drowning, but the voicemail remains unexplained, and the true events of that night are still a mystery. The vanishing of Bryce Laspisa. August 2013, California. 19-year-old college student Bryce Laspisa began behaving strangely. Friends noticed he was giving away personal items, staying awake for days, acting disconnected, emotional, and paranoid. At 11 p.m., he left his college apartment and began driving toward his parents' home, hours away. Along the way, he made several phone calls that sounded confused and exhausted. At 2 a.m., roadside assistants found him sitting silently in his parked car. They offered help. He refused. Then, Bryce remained in that same spot for 13 hours, doing absolutely nothing. No one knows why. The next morning, his SUV was found crashed at the bottom of a 25-foot embankment near Castaic Lake. The back window was kicked out, as if someone escaped the vehicle. But there were no footprints, no blood, no sign of where Bryce went. Search teams used drones, helicopters, K9 units, dive teams. Nothing. Some believe he walked into the wilderness. Some believe he suffered a psychological break. Others believe someone picked him up. 10 years later, Bryce Laspisa has never been found. His disappearance remains one of the strangest modern missing person cases. The disappearance of Brandon Swanson. May 14, 2008, Minnesota. At 1:54 a.m., 19-year-old Brandon Swanson accidentally drove his car into a ditch while returning from a small gathering. He called his parents for help, and for 47 minutes, they stayed on the phone as he tried to walk toward what he believed was a nearby town. He described his surroundings clearly: gravel roads, faint lights in the distance, sounds of water, and occasional rustling in the bushes. His father tried to follow noise cues and honked the car horn. Brandon couldn't hear it. This suggested he was farther away than he thought. At 2:17 a.m., Brandon suddenly said, "Oh shit." The phone went silent. Never disconnected, just silent. Authorities launched one of the largest searches in state history. Dogs traced Brandon's scent toward a rural field, then toward a river, but never into the river. There were no tracks afterward. Despite 500 volunteers, police, and multiple researchers of the same area over years, no clothing, no bones, no personal items were ever found. Brandon's disappearance is considered active but cold, and many investigators believe foul play is more likely than an accident. Brandon Lawson, the haunting 911 call. August 2013, Texas. At 12:53 a.m., 26-year-old Brandon Lawson called 911 after his truck ran out of fuel on a rural highway. His voice sounded terrified. He whispered, paused, and said someone was chasing him. Parts of the 911 recording remain debated even today. Some hear, "They're chasing me. There's a guy. I'm in the field." I'm not talking to them. And at one point, I ran into them. Police arrived shortly after. Brandon was nowhere to be found. His truck remained on the roadside, unlocked. His wallet and keys were gone, but his cell phone was active for several hours. People have tried to reenact the call, enhance it, isolate frequencies. No clear interpretation exists. Although partial human remains were discovered in 2022 and believed to be his, many aspects of the case, including what happened during those last moments, remain a chilling, unsolved mystery. The Elisa Lam case. January 2013, California. 21-year-old Elisa Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel, a building infamous for crime, suicides, and paranormal stories. After days of unusual behavior, Elisa disappeared. Police searched the hotel but found no trace of her. Then the hotel released elevator footage. One of the most disturbing videos online. Elisa presses multiple buttons, moves awkwardly, peeks outside the doors, hides in the corner, waves her hands as if talking to someone or something, but no one else appears. 3 weeks later, guests complained that their water pressure was low and the water tasted strange. Maintenance workers went to the roof, to a sealed, locked water tank. Inside was Elisa Lam. How she got there remains unexplained. The tank was locked. The roof required a key. The hatch was heavy and difficult to open. Alarms should have gone off. No camera captured her exit. Some believe it was an accident caused by a mental health episode. Others believe foul play was involved. Some even suggest someone else placed her there. No theory fits all the facts. To this day, the Elisa Lam case is considered unresolved. These mysteries stretch beyond timelines and logic. Each one carefully documented, deeply investigated, and yet full of missing pieces. The truth is somewhere in the shadows, waiting or hiding. 5 names, 5 families, and countless questions that still haven't been answered. From the haunting whispers on a 911 call to the silent depths of a hotel water tank, these cases remind us that the world is much darker and much stranger than we like to admit. Which of these stories do you think has a logical explanation, and which one defies everything we know? Let me know your theories in the comments. I read every single one. If you want to dive deeper into the shadows with me, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until next time, keep your eyes open. The truth is out there, even if it's hiding in plain sight.